It is the Riot. Hi. Hi.
Hello.
Hello. Is it on? Are we recording?
Welcome to your
Mr.
podcast.
Snurdly.
Welcome to your podcast for today. You have at least today and tomorrow, so the week is almost over.
All right. Today in the podcast, you'll hear we talk about the end of the Christmas coffee.
Aww.
Vetting the tweeters.
Let's not think of it as the end of the coffee, but a door opening towards the new coffee. Let's think of it in a better way. Let's not be so negative.
You know what? You're right, Nikki.
So we have a door opening soon for a new blend of what people might suggest.
TikTok arrests, Movie Pass, Days of Our Lives, Princess Nikki, A Tale of Two Queens.
Actually, with Princess Nikki, it's more about... do you need to move? Do you need a new house?
Well, I feel like now that you're a princess, you have to establish your status through real estate.
You have to have a home that accurately represents your new status.
What does it say about you? Mm-hmm. What does your home say about you?
This home says a lot.
It's going to say a lot. Obadiah's looking for a phone company again.
A year has passed. We're getting ready for a new phone carrier.
I'm about 6 weeks out from needing to make some moves.
Oh, I'm so proud.
Yeah. 50 Cent, Wiz Khalifa, and the Nintendo Switch.
There's lots of stuff.
All right. So you guys enjoy the podcast?
Please don't forget to text us. You can always say hello. You text 877-2-RADIO-U. If we're not in the studio, just let us know you're a podcast listener, and we'll get back with you when we're back in.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Worst of the Riot. RadioU.
Ready for another day?
Kinda. I feel like we need to start with a moment of maybe not silence because that's not the job, but just a moment of reflection maybe. I just made the last of the Christmas coffee.
Oh, the one that smells so good?
Yeah.
Oh, it smells delicious. You can actually smell it when you're outside walking into the building.
It smells so good.
It is so potent, but such a wonderful smell.
It really is.
Well, what are we going to do then? Does it have to be goodbye forever?
Well, I don't know. I thought about looking into, so this was part of like a special blend that blah, 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 but I feel like if I reach out to the company, I could probably get it again.
But it's probably mostly gone.
Yeah, like I have a little bit at home still that, you know, I'm sure I'll burn through this weekend.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, we need to find a new one.
Yeah.
It's hard to find the new blend.
But, I mean, we've still got, I have a friend of mine that owns a coffee company that we normally get our coffee from, and they're...
No.
It's good.
It is, but it doesn't smell as good as this one. And it's really mostly, that's the first, thing that hits you, and that's better.
Yep.
That's better smelling than the old one.
Yep. Now, that's true. It has an amazing smell. Like, just... shockingly good.
I've never tried it. I don't think I have, but it's just...
you have. I'm pretty sure that you had some of it.
But I had creamer, so it's not like, have I really tasted it?
I mean, I'll tell you, I really like it. I don't know that it tastes as good as it smells, but I don't know that any coffee does.
Sure.
Coffee is the finest aroma in the world.
Well, we'll start looking, or you have to bring back good old faithful.
Yeah. So, and that's not wrong. I like it. I just, special treat became every day. And now it's gone.
Well, that's why it's gone. We used it up faster.
Yeah, we did. So, you know what? I'd say pour one out for Christmas coffee, but no.
You should not.
We're going to save and savor every last little bit.
That's wasteful if you're going to do that.
It feels fitting. It's almost February, so I guess we carried it through January, and it really is time to take the tree down, guys.
The Christmas coffee is a Christmas tree of sorts, so you need to put it away.
Just a side note, I went running this morning.
Yeah.
Definitely somebody with a lighted tree in the window.
Oh, still has it up?
Not a Valentine tree.
Oh, I know people who still have the outside lights up.
That too.
The Riot. Just because it's bad doesn't mean it's not good. Wait, isn't that exactly what it means? It's The Riot on RadioU.
Do you really look at who somebody is before you retweet them, or if you like a tweet, do you just retweet it?
It's probably best one checks nowadays just to take a little look-see because, retweet or like is somewhat of a stamp of approval.
Right, but
you can't look at everything.
Not on everybody for everything. Sometimes you just liked one thing they said.
But normally, if you like it or retweet it, you're following them anyway, so that is your stamp of approval.
No, because now it's like if I have a friend that follows them, they show up as a suggestion, and here's this tweet that was really good. And I'm like, man, that's really good.
Well, then just send it out if you like it.
The other thing that I find myself is like, hey, what'd you do today? Like, well, I took about 90 minutes and I just looked into this person's history.
Before I committed to liking them.
I spent a long time just scrolling through their tweets. Who are they retweeting? What are they doing? Like looking into their job history, trying to find some articles they had written online.
Found them on Facebook.
Just trying to screen them to make sure that I'm comfortable with giving them a retweet because I'm just not really sure.
You did a deep dive into what their life is.
I mean, well, you got to take a look.
Well, normally you can tell. You can get a pretty good snapshot just by looking at their profile.
I mean, sometimes, but what if you can't? And then what if you retweet somebody and then you're like, oh, gosh.
I think you have good intentions. It's probably not a problem.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll just tell you that I just had that happen. I haven't spent the 90 minutes doing the deep dive, but I'm like, who is this guy?
Perhaps someone should take a moment and take a little look-see and do some work for him.
Just because I like somebody that follows them? I mean, maybe I'm really good friends with somebody that just has poor taste.
Sure.
No discretion. They don't understand. But I did it. I went ahead and I retweeted. So if you want to know what that's about, you can find links to all of our social media stuff, riot.radiou.com.
But I would suggest if you follow RadioU on Twitter, that'd be the best.
I mean, after Obadiah RadioU.
Well, yeah, if you want to just make a connection, there's the two.
Yeah.
You're listening to the worst of the riot, RadioU.
Whitman Hanson Regional High School.
Yes.
That's where these two male high school students attend, whose names are being withheld because they are under the age of 18. However, despite being under the age of 18, they are still being charged with, let me get the exact one, attempting to burn school property.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Can't say that. Never mind. Never mind.
I
have a filter. Oh, my filter kicked in.
Oh, you should unfilter.
No, I'll
just
tell you
like
later.
My cigarettes.
No, that's not it.
Okay.
It doesn't help. Let's just say that. It's not like it's wrong to say. It just doesn't help.
All right. Well, Massachusetts is where I believe this is taking place, and they were doing the TikTok outlet challenge.
Oh, they were?
Yeah. Well, the problem is, one, they recorded it, which is what TikTok is about. That's one. And then two, it's something that they did several times. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't just that they damaged one outlet and they were like, oh, Mr. Cooper, we're really sorry. We didn't know this would happen.
They kept doing it.
Yeah.
So this was a TikTok challenge, but it never really picked up a huge amount on TikTok. But then people started saying, don't do this challenge.
And then everyone had to do it.
Everybody started to do it. But you take a charger and pull it out a little bit, drop a penny down in between, and, that will shock it and cause some sparks or, a little bit of blow up a little bit of the outlet. Mm-hmm. And that was a challenge.
That's the challenge. And then after that, the challenge is not getting in trouble and or surviving the fire.
Sure, that might happen.
Yeah. But, don't get me wrong. It is fun. It's so much fun.
No, it's not. No, it's not. See, they couldn't tell the tone.
No, see, I'm saying that because
the opposite.
It's the opposite because they're like, don't do it. And everybody's like, we're definitely doing it.
Here, you start handing out pennies. You're like, here, guys, go ahead and do it. And then they're not going to want to.
How about this? Like, here's a penny. Go home with your mom and dad and enjoy the challenge together as a family. It could be family TikTok night.
Your mom and dad want to do this with you. And problem solved.
That just wrapped up.
No more challenge.
That we just took care of it.
Oh, yeah, that's a great idea.
It's something families are doing together.
Yeah.
Everybody loves it.
Your mom said she would really like to have you wait and do that when we all get home. We can do it together.
Right. After you empty the dishwasher.
Yeah. Oh, gosh.
But
to earn the penny.
We're not doing the TikTok challenge until you get that done.
But we're doing it together.
Is your homework done? All right.
See, that's what they should have done when this started to become a challenge. Then it would have just completely died away.
So they are in trouble. I don't know exactly what could end up happening to them as a result, but it's not good. They've been charged with the official charge, the full charges, attempting to burn a public building and malicious destruction of property.
Well, let's just say now they really will be spending more family time together because they're not going anywhere.
They're going to be like,
they're going to be home a lot.
I wish I could spend more time at home because I'm down at the jail.
And that was their last TikTok challenge ever because they don't get their phone back.
Yeah, your phone's gone, dude.
The Riot, not everyone's fan.
I wonder whose idea this was.
RadioU.
So yesterday, Eric and I were working on something called RadioU This Week. If you've never seen it, We like it's on Facebook, it's on Instagram, we'll tweet it out. It's basically one of our DJs stands there and is like, this week at RadioU, we have a new song from Red.
Well, that way you can kind of get a snapshot at what's going on.
Yeah, we want to make sure that we're not doing anything
that you don't know about.
We don't want you to think we're getting away with anything over here, et cetera, et cetera.
Well, that way you can get excited to see what's going on.
So normally when we go in there and do it, I just like rattle off whatever, and it's like, it's fine, whatever. But sometimes Eric, who is behind the camera, and he's the one that actually produces it and posts it and stuff, he'll give me suggestions. He's the director. And yesterday, I think we did it 4 times.
Oh, is that normally more or less?
Normally it's 1 take.
Oh, okay.
So it took us a while, but it was funny. Eric actually gave me, I find Eric's feedback to be invaluable when we create something. And it's one of those things that it sounds funny, but if Eric tells me it's okay, then it's like, all right, Eric said it's okay, it's okay.
We can do this.
If Eric is like, yeah, it's okay, and I'm like, what? And so, or sometimes he'll just flat out give me his feedback, like, hey, this is what I think you should do, and we'll redo it. And I find that outside input,
direction, perspective
to be just invaluable to me. And as I was doing it yesterday, and as I said, we did it multiple times till we got to the one where like, yeah, this is the one we'll keep. I was thinking, this is what Eric is providing me right now, what God is offering to each of us in our life, outside perspective. Because think about it. How many times do you think you're like, oh, I know exactly what to do. I know exactly what's right. But if you were outside your circumstances, you might be like, we could bet there's a different way to do this. There's a way that this gets better than what it is right now. We should do this differently. And the great thing about that is sometimes it'll be like, oh, I need to change that. But just like I take feedback from Eric, if Eric tells me it's okay, I'm good. Same thing with God. God will be like, no, it's okay. You're all right. You're like, well,
we're good.
If you say so, okay. It doesn't feel good, but I'm going to just take you at your word here. You said it's okay. You need some outside help. You need a different perspective. I need it. I need God to show me, because if I just ran around doing what I thought was the right thing, I have some really bad ideas about what the right thing is, right?
Many takes.
Gotta do it again. Let's do it again. Listen, if you don't have a friendship with God, if you don't know what it's like to have somebody that you can look at to give you direction, a thumbs up, or a reminder of like, hey, we could do that a little different. You know what? You could. God loves you. He absolutely wants to be a part of your life. Best day, worst day, 1 take, 10 takes. He wants to be there. Invite him in and say, Jesus, I want that. I want you in my life. I want you to fill me with your spirit. I want you to show me a different way to do things. I want you to be my director. And I'm telling you, man, you let God in. He's got some things to say, but man, he also, at the risk of sounding ridiculous, is so encouraging. Real talk.
Proper planning prevents poor performance. Clearly, the Riot didn't properly plan. This is the worst of the Riot on RadioU.
I know that you were all very concerned, which is why I want to get this information to you as fast as possible. Days of Our Lives.
Which is a soap opera.
The NBC soap opera has been renewed.
Oh, thank goodness, right? The stress. Doesn't it feel like a weight's been lifted off everybody's shoulders?
Well, the funny thing was that this was something that happened yesterday afternoon, last night, and for some reason I slept so soundly last night.
Yeah, you did, right?
It's
You
like
were
I just
really
didn't
worried.
know, but something inside me, there was like a knot, and that knot released, and I didn't even know it.
It's relief.
It is. I found relief. It's amazing.
So which one is it again?
Days of Our Lives. That's the one like sands through the hourglass. So are the days of our lives.
Now, is that the one where they fired everybody, or was that a different one?
Nope,
because I
that's
thought
the
that
one.
one was already picked up again.
They released everyone from their contracts.
They do that to where a show films so far in advance that we're talking practically like a year's worth of shows were already done. So they can't just keep the people hired and there's nothing to film at that point. So they tend to kind of let everybody go, redo contracts, and rehire them back.
I'm looking at this photo right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. The women are beautiful. And then they're standing next to a man in a leather jacket with an eye patch.
Well, of course, it's a soap opera.
Why?
How can you say no to a man in a leather jacket with an eye patch?
Why does this guy
have an eye patch? It's probably him or his evil twin brother.
Now, here's the thing that I do think is funny is that, okay, the photos of the current cast, like I said, the two women and eye patch man, they look to me like they're probably in their late 20s, early 30s. Here's a photo of the Days of Our Lives people from the 60s. They look like they're in their mid-50s.
A little bit older.
I'm just saying that I don't know if it's the target demo or what we want to look at, but the cast is a heck of a lot younger.
No, I think they just had probably a lot of work done.
Oh, you think so?
Oh, yeah. If you look closer.
I'm not looking closely.
Is anything puffy or oddly smooth? You know how it is when people get work done. You're like,
so what you're saying
I don't think you got anything done, have you?
Oh, my gosh. Wait. You know what? I didn't even think about this.
What?
Okay, like a woman gets to a certain age and she has weird smoothness or odd puffy.
Yeah.
But for a man, you just get an eye patch.
Problem solved. You didn't have to have anything done. Now, your
don't
other eye's a little older
I don't
looking.
need plastic surgery. I just need an eye patch.
Just cover it up.
And a leather jacket,
And a
obviously.
leather jacket will fix all of it.
Oh, my gosh.
It draws attention away from the oldness.
It's amazing.
It is.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm not ready for the eye patch yet, but I'm putting that in my back pocket.
You are, in case you ever want to.
I'm going to remember that. I'm going to remember that when I look around and Nikki is like, I just had a little work done. And I'll be like, you know what? It's time.
You pull it out.
Let's get out the patch.
Please do that. Please just keep it.
Yeah, just,
And then on the right day when you know it's time, that is what you'll do.
Yep. That's fantastic.
So I don't know a lot of people who are into daytime soap operas.
Or
if you
television
are,
at all.
then that's just fine because it's whatever.
Hey, you know what, Nikki? It's big news because this is their 56th season. It's like the longest running show on TV.
So will be coming back.
Yeah. Don't start now. Just let it end.
You mean don't start watching it? You're like, I only have 55 seasons to watch.
Am I okay? Can I start now or do I have to get caught up from the beginning?
I don't know how I can watch all that.
Oh, gosh.
Where do you go when you need someone to listen to your problems and give you a big hug? Not here. Obviously, this is The Riot on Radio U.
It was 2 years ago that I had this great idea, along with half of the United States, in which we all signed up for Movie Pass at once.
Aw, was it 2 years ago? It didn't
2 years
last
ago.
long.
Well,
you
no.
haven't been with them for so long.
We broke up a long time ago, about 18 months ago.
Well, you broke up with them, and then they just had to break up with everybody.
With everybody.
Because it's the one where they tried to stay afloat, and then they were really kind of cheating people at a certain point, and then they just had to cancel everything.
It came down to $10 a month, and you could see a movie every day, which was amazing. You could go to any movie, any theater, anything, and you were there. And I had a honeymoon period with them that lasted a solid 5 months.
So that was too amazing that they couldn't actually afford it.
Yeah, and it was one of those things where word just grew. I knew so many people that got a Movie Pass card. But the one thing I didn't do that I'm super glad about is that I never bought the 1 year pass.
Mm-hmm.
I just paid monthly because I didn't think they'd ever make it long enough for me to get a year's worth of service
But
out
a
of
lot
them.
of people did.
Yeah. So the president company of Movie Pass, Helios and Matheson Analytics, filed for Chapter 7 bankruptcy yesterday. They say that they may owe about $100 to about 12,000 Movie Pass subscribers.
So people haven't gotten their money back?
That's a negative.
But I think sometimes you can contact your bank or your credit card, and they can
do a chargeback.
They could do a chargeback. I mean, I don't know what it does. Maybe you'll get something, or it'll still be a problem. It's still a hassle.
When Movie Pass launched, it was $40 a month. I remember it launching because I was like,
should have stayed at that.
Because I looked at it like, $40 a month is just a little too much.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they went 10, I was in.
See, that was too low.
It was.
And then it was too big too quick, and they just couldn't actually afford it.
Yeah. So I'm now to a place where I'm doing $20 a month to AMC Stubs, and I've gone the entire month of January without seeing a movie.
Yay. Oh, congratulations.
Yeah.
I'm so proud that you signed back up for that.
If anybody has an I told you so, I know a guy that stands ready to receive.
And there hasn't been much to see, at least movie-wise. There's been a couple.
There's been several movies I did want to see, and I just...
you just haven't.
Haven't been able to make the connection.
Are you going to, or are you going to cancel?
Well, not today.
Not today.
And I can't tomorrow.
Just keep going then. I'm sure you'll see a movie soon.
Someday you'll go.
Someday you'll be back to the movie theater.
I'll tell you what, this is where I'm at. We're going to get a couple weeks into February, and if I haven't used it,
then you'll do it?
I'm going to have to be out.
So at this point, if you were an old member of Movie Pass and you did sign up for the entire year and you had about $100 they owed you and you haven't got anything back about that, they filed, so you're probably not going to.
It's not looking good, because if something is too good to be true...
It is too good.
It is.
And it's not true.
Dang it.
This is the worst of the riot on RadioU.
You know, you're charitable. You're not an entrepreneur.
Philanthropist.
You're into philanthropy.
You're a giver.
Mm-hmm. So you know what? This may be of interest to you. An interesting way to make some money for a little something you love. I am talking about a GoFundMe right now. They want to raise money for Housing Works. Now, this is for a charity that helps people that have HIV and or AIDS.
Okay.
They want to raise $15,000 for it. And their answer to this is a 24-hour Cats marathon.
Oh, of the movie?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
They're going to watch it over.
And over. Oh, so that's the way to raise money. Actually, that's quite clever.
You sponsor them to watch Cats for 24 hours.
How are they going to do it, though? The movie's not out.
Yeah, it's still out there.
Well, no, it's in theaters, but not in a 24-hour period.
I don't know the answer to that specifically, but my guess is they will probably are partnering with a movie theater chain
to keep showing it or something.
I mean, I imagine that, especially if you can find a locally run theater or a smaller chain, if you pitched your charity idea to them, they get all kinds of free press out of that. I'll bet they do it.
I guess I assumed it wasn't even still in theaters.
It is.
Maybe the larger ones that have the extra screens.
I can tell you how to write.
It's not in a big theater.
No. It's at like the 30-plex, and it's down at the back. It's actually smaller than your TV.
Pretty much. Like it's smaller than your entire living room.
Yeah. So I had a conversation with a Riot listener, friend of the show, who went to see Cats last week, and she told me that it's not very often that something is as bad as people say it is. Mm-hmm. She said in this particular case, it absolutely is.
Oh, it was as bad as people said. Wow, it lives up to it.
Yeah. And, I trust her judgment.
So if you want to help raise money, then you just watch it for 24 hours.
Yeah. I mean, it's too late for you to join this group of people. But my thought is by sharing this with you, perhaps you will be spurred onward to become, unleash your inner philanthropist through fundraising activities that may or may not be the normal kind.
This is a different way.
So if you're like, oh, man, we should do a 24-hour bond marathon, probably not going to get as much money.
See, I like how they phrase it on their GoFundMe. It's make us watch Cats for 24 hours.
There it is.
That's what you need to do.
That's the hook, friend.
Oh, they said they've already seen Cats in theaters multiple times. Now they want to channel their bad choices into something good.
I love, with Cats, there are these articles that keep popping up. They're like, it's becoming a cult classic because people are watching it ironically. Wake up, people. That is right there. That is marketing. That is somebody somewhere that was like, how do we salvage this thing? Oh, I know. We'll do this. Mm-hmm. Believe me. That is exactly where that started.
This must be when it comes out, because this isn't in theaters. They're going to watch Cats on a loop for 24 hours. They're only allowed to take breaks during the credits. They can have friends come by and join them at any time as long as they watch Cats. You're allowed to talk over the movie. Everything goes to this charity, and they'll live stream themselves watching the movie.
Okay.
So that's what you can do. You can help.
Do you think are you allowed to sleep during the movie?
They didn't say you had to stay awake. That's all. That is a good loophole around that.
Because I'll tell you this, like a couple of rounds of NyQuil, you just take it, go to sleep. You wake up, you eat, you take it, you go back to sleep.
Money's raised, and you actually are quite refreshed.
You get up and
finally
you're
slept.
like, I've never felt this good.
And suddenly that's what you have to do every night to go to sleep, fall asleep to this movie.
The whining, the loathing, the insightful commentary on postmodern historical doctrine. Okay, maybe not the last one. You're listening to The Riot on RadioU.
Sir, I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to stop eating bacon. Oh, I'm sorry, miss. I'm going to have to ask you to stop eating bacon. This is... I don't know if this is brilliant or stupid. You guys decide. We report, you decide.
You guys let us know what you actually think.
So there is a guy... His name is Professor Charles Spence of Oxford University. And he has invented essentially a scratch and sniff sticker for food for a reason. You know, we're all trying to adjust to our new plant-based diets, but we have these intense cravings for real food.
So what do you do?
So,
Not real food. You're just saying the other food.
Well, no, because a lot of plant-based food is a lie. They're like, well, here's your Impossible Whopper. Look, it's a lie, but let's all participate in this lie together.
The faux food. All right, I get you.
Okay, so he's just like, all right, I feed you some fake bacon, but the problem is you want real bacon. So you, on your arm, you put this scratch and sniff sticker, and you scratch it. You get inundated with the smell of bacon.
So while you're eating your faux version of it, it might help with the cravings by making you think that you're experiencing real bacon.
Right. And then, hooray, you've managed to make it through another round of no bacon.
So they're saying that our sense of smell is strongly connected to our ability to taste. So for when you experience food, the smell is just as much a part of it as the taste of it itself.
Here's what I wonder, sincerely. There are so many people that are convinced the ship is just going down. Like we will look back on these moments of plenty and weep for the, like we'll all be eating meat grown in our cellar, or I don't know, I don't even have a cellar, but you know what I mean, right? Like, are they right? Is that actually happening? Or is it just going to be like, I mean, I don't know how many times people have been like, 1988, we're all dead. 1992, we're all dead. 1998, the world's blowing up. We got a big asteroid in 2004.
Everybody says it.
They said that the calendar ends in 2012. And, 2014, he's coming back. Come on. Like,
it always is like that.
I'm still going to McDonald's eating chicken McNuggets and coming in here at 4 a.m. So whatever.
They're saying that if something like this were to ever get approved and then move into where you could buy it, for your everyday use, if you wanted to stop eating meat, this might be a helpful tool for you.
I just want you to know, if I see you at the store buying fake bacon and scratch and sniff stickers, I don't feel anything but pity for you.
Well, this will start you'd be having a whole sticker collection on your arm if you're trying to give up several things. Like you could have a soda patch, a coffee patch, food patches, vaping patch. Like you'd have everything.
That's what you do. You drink water, but you scratch and sniff this sticker, and wow, you're having coffee. You're having soda.
So who knows if it would help, but they think it would be helpful if you were trying to quit something, but you really still wanted to feel like you were experiencing it.
Well, I'll tell you what. The world gets ready to blow up. I'll eat fake bacon. In the meantime, if I want bacon, keep the sticker. I'm just going to buy bacon.
Remember those, did you ever have those markers when you were younger?
Yeah.
And they were really scented, like the food items? You could just go ahead and start with that. Just find a bacon marker and...
I'm just sticking with bacon.
You're just going to stick with that?
Yeah.
Well, that's not very cool, is it? You're not supposed to.
Nikki, it depends on what region of the country you're in. Honestly, almost everything you believe has so much to do with geography.
Everything you love about the Riot, plus a handy-dandy fast-forward option. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
It's really popular here in the United States to just trash talk whatever our form of government is. And we're like, we should be socialists. We should go back to being a democracy. Then we could have the privilege of paying the royals. And they could, we could watch them and they could go to Canada on us. This would be the best. I want to not be an American. I hate being an American.
Some people have chosen to have that bad attitude. You're right.
How about this? You ready for this?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, sorry. Let's talk about the Netherlands, Nikki.
Yeah.
Do you know the Netherlands have a queen?
They do? All right.
Who knew that?
Great.
I didn't know they had a queen of the Netherlands. If I met someone that said they were queen of the Netherlands, I'd be like, shut up, they don't have a queen.
That'd be like, you just believe anybody who said that.
Yeah, okay, sure.
I guess they are.
Okay, if you say so, whatever. Yeah, there's a queen of the Netherlands. So apparently there's a 63-year-old guy whose name I don't have, who made a bunch of comments last October in front of the police, and they were like, hey, you got to stop. You can't insult the queen. That's illegal.
Oh, you're not allowed to?
And he was just like, whatever, free country.
Well, now there's something. So hang on.
So he continued to call her the daughter of a murderer.
Oh,
and
all
so
right.
now he was arrested for speaking out against the Queen. And while he is not going to have to do any jail time, he did get sentenced to 40 hours of community service.
Oh, that's interesting.
For insulting
The Queen.
I am amazed that there are still places, at least in the first world, Western civilization, whatever the heck you want to call it, where you get arrested for insulting the Queen. I mean, sure, they'll put you in a cannon if you insult the guy in North Korea. We've heard those stories, but this is the Netherlands.
Sure.
Where we're eating Danishes, right?
Maybe, though, it's like a case of his insults crossed the line into threats and stuff.
Well, no, I thought that, too, because it is illegal to threaten the life of the president.
Yeah.
But it is just illegal to insult
the Queen there.
The Queen.
Aww.
Well, I guess
royalty?
The current regent or regis, whoever that is.
That's just how it is.
Mm-hmm. So I'll just tell you, America's not all bad, because if it was illegal to insult the president,
a lot of people would be really busy being arrested now, wouldn't they?
So many people in jail, right? But the other side of that is, with all that community service, think about how clean our communities would be.
Oh my gosh, that'd actually be really nice.
We could all go out and we could paint that park that really, it just needs a facelift.
The things that everybody says needs fixed in our country that they're not willing to go out and fix.
Yeah. So just a reminder that for all its problems, the United States isn't all bad.
Sure.
Because, how many public officials have you insulted? And the sun's not even up yet.
But you never got cold on it. You never got in trouble.
You're listening to The Riot. Let's all work together today to live life with the patience of a Nikki dealing with an Obadiah.
Gotta hang in there and get through it.
You're listening to The Riot.
Who's ready for the Queen of America? You ready?
Yeah.
And you're like, it's Nikki.
Oh,
You're close.
Yay!
You're very close.
It's an honor to just be nominated.
I'm talking
but
about
I am not the Queen.
Queen Latifah.
Oh, okay.
Do you guys know who Queen Latifah is? She's a former hip-hop artist, movie star.
Didn't she do some daytime thing?
Did she?
A talk show?
I didn't actually know that.
I don't know if it lasted long at that point, but I thought I remember that.
Well, I can tell you that Queen Latifah is now also at least, she's the Equalizer.
What's that mean?
Well,
but isn't that Denzel?
Denzel's the movie Equalizer?
Uh-huh.
She's going to be the TV Equalizer.
We're having a TV Equalizer?
CBS just ordered a pilot.
Is it all access?
I don't.
Or is it CBS?
No, I think it's going to be the actual.
Is it going to be
network.
on CBS?
They haven't picked it up yet, but they're doing a pilot, and maybe.
Yeah, maybe we'll be picked up.
It'll be picked up.
So I can't remember his Equalizer character. What was it? What's the premise for it?
Okay, the idea is that he's
mad.
Yes, always mad. He's a former CIA guy, and he basically realizes that there's a lot of people that need help that can't get the help they need. And so he's there to be the equalizer. So the people that are being oppressed by the man, but not a gender thing.
No.
He'll be there to help them. Or in this case, she will be. So I don't know what her... it's Edward Woodward was the original actor. Denzel Washington has done the movies.
Oh, there was a TV show before?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
I didn't
those
know that.
movies are based on the TV show, I think. So
it's going back to TV.
Yeah, it was on from 1985 to 1989. That character's name is Robert McCall. I'll tell you what, dude. The first Equalizer movie is one of my favorites. I love that movie. The second Equalizer movie,
not as much.
Terrible.
You don't hit 100% every time.
It was terrible. It was sad.
Aww.
All of the opportunity that they just chucked.
Maybe this will be a good move. Nice to put a strong female character then out front.
Okay.
How about we just say this? Nice to put a strong character out front.
No, Nikki, I think you're missing it. It's nice to put royalty out front.
Well, everything has to be...
She's a queen, Nikki!
Royalty right now.
Your Majesty, we hope
Go
that
and equalize.
Go. Oh, my gosh, the queen is going to be equalizing? I mean, it's right there in her name. She's above us all. How can she equalize us?
So has CBS said any more, like when the pilot will start or anything?
I got nothing. They're just working on it. It's going to be a pilot.
Boy, I haven't watched network television in quite some time. It's been a long time, hasn't it?
I'm thinking.
It's been a while. And maybe it is better if they put it on CBS All Access. At least you might watch it there.
There's some truth to that. I mean, I watched Picard. Mm-hmm. That's all.
But nothing on CBS, like outside of the Access
Let's
stuff.
see, I'm trying to think of in the last month, like what TV have I watched? I've watched Lost in Space, The Expanse, Picard.
They're all on streaming services.
Yeah. I got nothing. I think the only thing I've watched on broadcast is the news, and that's because I have this weird thing about enjoying.
He likes local weather.
I like to watch local weather.
I don't know why.
I don't know either.
It's kind of an odd thing.
I like all of it.
You know what though? I'm glad you like something.
I like the structure. I like watching. I just like watching it. One of these days I'm just gonna go be a weatherman and be happier than I've ever been.
The Riot has now been downloaded. I hope you installed some antivirus. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
We're looking into getting Nikki potentially moved into princess status.
Ooh, before I become queen.
Yeah.
Might as well start with princess first.
I would just like to see you, get established first, a little training time.
Listen, I'd hope I'd be a graceful princess, helpful, kind to everybody. That's what I would hope I would be.
So, Nikki, in order for you to, I feel like, get to that place, I'm going to need to, as part of your training, you're going to have to learn to live luxuriously.
I can do that.
You're going to have to stop with this doing things for yourself stuff.
What do you mean? Like self-care, or do you mean like DIY?
Everything.
All that?
All right. There is no self-care. There's princess care. And you have a whole staff of people that are there to do that.
Someone else is going to schedule it for me and they're going to do it.
And you're going to need the right house to go with your newly royal status, which is why I would like to introduce to you what they say is America's most expensive house.
Nice. That's where I'm going.
And it's now for sale.
Where is it?
It's in Bel Air. You could be the fresh princess
of Bel Air.
Of Bel Air, Nikki. Let's see. It belongs to Niall Niami, or I don't know if that's the person that bought it or the person that designed it. But it looks like the top of a cruise ship on a hill. So it's super long.
Massive.
I know. It's got
100,000 square feet.
20 bedrooms, a hot yoga room,
a nightclub, a VIP room,
a bowling alley with
8
lanes.
There's 7 swimming pools, 7 of them.
There's a 45-seat IMAX movie theater.
I'd love to live here. There's 5 elevators, a beauty salon.
It would take you so long to even see your house.
I know you just wander around. Like, which part of the house do we want to live in today? The movie theater's huge. 45 seats, like you said.
45 seats in an IMAX theater. Mm-hmm. You're just like, hey, meet me down at the pool. Which one?
Which one do you want to go to?
So, I don't know.
Okay, I'm going to say this. All right. This might be the practical side of me. I think it's too much. I think it's too much house.
Okay, hang on just a second.
I don't think I need that much space.
That's because you are speaking...
I'm more of a minimalist, and I think that might be too much house.
First off, you're not a minimalist.
Not, but I am compared to that.
You can claim to be, but I'm here to tell you that you're not.
I am compared to that house.
Okay, fair. I have a hot tub, not 7 swimming pools.
Correct.
What's wrong with these people?
This is obviously way more than that.
Okay. Well, I think that right now we're hearing from Nikki, the what?
The normal.
The announcer.
Nikki the normal.
Normie Nikki.
But not Princess Nikki.
Princess Nikki would go in there and be like, this place is trash.
I must redo it all.
And we are going to be redecorating.
Wow.
That's what you have to do.
So for this house, which, what did you say? They call it the One? It's got a nickname?
Oh, you don't want to? Yes.
So the one is $500 million. Complimentary items come in it, I guess. Like you get a Lamborghini and you got Cristal and stuff. So it's something.
The master bedroom is 5,500 square feet, a.k.a. probably
larger than everybody's houses put together.
You're probably throwing 2 of your houses in there.
Oh, well, maybe this is the right place for me. I don't know. I still think it's too much house to have.
It's pretty dang cool.
That movie theater is impressive. It is nicer looking, the rendering of it. Like, it's not even showing you it's nicer than what we go to.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The one we go to might be bigger, but it's trashed. So it's not as nice as this one.
I mean, the parking lot's got to be better, right?
And the seats are all ripped. Like, it's just how it is.
Yeah.
It's just how it's going.
I hear
good
ya.
for them. That's quite a house. That is something. 100,000 square feet.
Fit for a princess.
And we know a princess, don't we? Everybody can come move in, okay? We could have like a party pad.
Well, the amazing thing is, like, I could live there and you'd never know.
I wouldn't even know you were there.
We could spend 10 years never talking to each other and living in the same house.
No, we could be like, all right, I'll meet you in the movie theater.
In the
movie
theater.
time.
Yeah, it's right next to the studio. We have our own studio. That would be so awesome.
Man, it's impressive. All right, click it out. That's a no.
Giving every novelty food the publicity it so blatantly desires. It's The Riot on Radio U.
All right, I'm getting a little ahead of myself here, but I, in reality, probably have about 6 weeks. Do you guys remember when last year I was looking for the cheapest way to get phone service and I scammed a deal from Sprint for $3 a month?
He's getting close to the end.
You guys remember that? Well, all good things must come to an end.
Boy, you know, the year flies by, doesn't it? We're already back to needing new service.
Yeah. So I had somebody, and I have lost their name, recommend Metro by T-Mobile to me. And I was just going to say, I'm asking, does anybody have T-Mobile? And
Metro?
Like both. Like T-Mobile, like main T-Mobile or T-Mobile Metro? Like, how is it? Anybody use that? I used to make fun of people that had it, and here I am.
Now you're just looking for the best deal.
Yeah, and which, again, just goes to show you there's something, it's a little pathetic.
No, it's,
It is,
no,
and I can accept
not.
it.
It's
I
not.
can accept it.
You're finding the right fit for you.
I can accept it, Nikki.
I just don't think Sprint's going to let you out, so I don't know, like, why you think you're going to move anywhere.
Oh, don't worry. I'll get out.
Are you sure?
Don't worry, Nikki.
Alive?
You don't know.
The powers you have to get out of something?
You don't know the people I know.
Well, good luck to you. I just don't think you can. I think somewhere something's going to go wrong.
When you notice that all of a sudden Sprint has been sold to someone else, you'll know what happened. You'll know what happened.
Oh, well, I guess if anybody's tried it, let him know your experience with it.
Well, they got this whole thing where it's like you pay so much a month, but you also get free Amazon Prime, which I know, but like I'm paying for Amazon Prime monthly. That's $13 a month. And then you also get Google One, which I'm paying for that too, but it's only like $1 a month. So that's something.
Well, let's see. Ronnie said he's tried Google Fi, which uses T-Mobile towers, and he says the signal is terrible.
Oh, good.
But that's just maybe where he is.
Where is he, Nikki? Do you know?
Not your area, I don't think.
Okay. All right. I looked at Google Fi. That seems like a great idea, but it's
not for you.
I don't think so.
All right, well,
the
we'll just
idea
close
with
out of
Google
that
Fi
one.
is like it's always looking for, like, it'll ping a tower, but it's always trying to find free Wi-Fi signals that it can use to provide data for you, and it's supposed to do it in the background. It's supposed to be seamless.
Hardy's doing one, which I started seeing more ads for, because who owns it?
Excuse me, Hardy's?
Hardy. No, his name is Hardy.
Tom Hardy.
No, Hardy, the listener who texted, his name is Hardy. He says he's been using Mint Mobile. And is Mint, is it
Delicious.
Ryan?
I love it.
Is it Ryan Reynolds or someone well-known does the Mint stuff because he owns part of it?
That doesn't necessarily make it a good service.
Company?
That doesn't necessarily make it good service.
No, I just think there was someone who's more well-known who works for the company.
Okay. Well, I don't know. Like the Metro thing seems, it's a great deal, but it's cheaper and there's got to be a reason, right?
Yeah, it is. Mint is Ryan Reynolds.
There's got to be a reason. Let's see. Keith says he's had Metro for 4+ years. He's on the family plan. 4 lines unlimited for only $120 a month.
Do you have an open family spot? Obi could move right on in.
I sure could, Nikki.
You're like, I wonder what it'd be like to have Obi as a relative. And
Here
you
he
could
is.
find out.
Here he is.
You're more than welcome to add him.
Glad to be a part of your family. Sherrod White.
Imagine how much better holidays will be with him there.
You guys are just going to love it.
He's coming for Thanksgiving.
The worst podcast with the best listeners. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Have you ever wondered how bands make money? Now, it's complicated. Back in the day, they used to sell CDs and record players. No, records for the record players, right? But these days, it's all streaming. So you don't buy an album. How do they make any money?
You pretty much, well, a band still mostly makes money by touring and by merchandise, which means maybe selling you the songs themselves, but they don't tend to get a lot of money through streaming services.
That's all there. But they do get some money from streaming services, and they get money from royalties in general.
Remember what the key is? You got to write your own songs. If you write your own songs, you'll get more money.
So it works like this. When you listen to RadioU, you're like, but it's free for radio. Nope. We actually pay the rights to licensing for this, et cetera, et cetera. And that is one way that artists do get paid. And it is now headed into, is it going to go into court, or maybe they just filed the lawsuit? But there is a company that represents artists, and they're there to collect royalties. And they are taking Amazon, Apple, Deezer, Google, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Rhapsody, 7 Digital, SoundCloud, and YouTube all to court, saying that they have unpaid royalties that they are owed for songs that are available on their services, but that they have not been willing to pay.
What's the company?
No, PMR is the company.
PMR, gotcha.
So Pro Music Rights is the name of the company, and the artists they represent are supposed to get paid, and they have not. And so they're like,
do they have any bigger artists? Or
I don't know the answer.
I'll have to look that one up.
Okay, here you go. PMR represents emerging and chart-topping artists, including Wiz Khalifa. Man, he's making money on his weed game. He's fine.
Doesn't need any more.
Gucci Mane and Fall Out Boy.
I see.
So, I mean, not people you've never heard of. There's money in them there, Wiz Khalifas.
I think we're clear, though. I think we're good. We're just fine.
Admittedly,
not ours.
I'm not typically in the car with Fall Out Boy. But, Nikki, Fall Out Boy got to get paid?
Yeah, it's hard. Some of the music licensing stuff can go way too far.
Oh,
Some of the companies, it's almost like a mafia sort of mentality. But then you want to be respectful, and bands do deserve to get paid. But there's only a certain point to where some of these stations and networks can pay. So I don't know. This one seems to fall a little bit more on the other side.
Well, it'd be interesting to me to see where it goes, because one thing's for sure, they've locked down a lot of things with the music industry. There was a bit of a free fall there for a while. They've done a lot of stuff. They've gotten the streaming thing kind of under control. But at some point, we all basically pay about $10 a month for streaming. That's what I pay. I do YouTube Red, and that's not what they call it anymore, but it's YouTube Music.
Yeah, you'd use that one.
Yeah, so I use YouTube Music, and I love it, and it's great.
Well, it means that...
And it's $10 a month, $10.66.
It means that your stuff eventually will get more expensive.
Yeah.
And for some, for our radio networks and stuff, it might eventually mean, well, that artist doesn't get played.
Right.
You just have to move to that.
Yeah, that's an odd mix, but believe me, at the end of the day, all this means for you is eventually you're paying more.
Well, you would have been anyways.
Yeah, that's also true.
They would have raised the price, I guarantee that, for some other reason. Now they'll just get to raise it twice.
It's just what? Yeah. What's better than raising the price one time?
Do it twice.
Uncomfortable silences during that morning carpool? Not a problem. These two never shut up. It's the Riot on RadioU.
Nikki, you know Fitty.
Yeah, okay.
50 Cent?
Sure.
He says that after the death of Kobe Bryant, he has reassessed his life. And one of the things he wants to do is stop arguing with people.
I actually saw that and I thought, well, good, because he's been known to get into some pretty petty, sort of fights.
Yes.
Especially online, through Twitter and stuff.
Yeah, dude. He'll hold a grudge. And if you ever play Blood in the Sand, he fights with them helicopters a lot.
A lot of name calling, lots of things that maybe we should have been moving past as him being a grown-up and stuff. So I thought maybe that is a positive step.
Sure. Well, it made me think. I actually was listening to somebody. Well, it was basically, okay, he said that after Kobe Bryant's death earlier in the week, that it's made him step back and think, hey, life is short, and I should get focused on things that matter and not waste time and energy.
And the people that matter.
Yeah, on this kind of stuff. So he says he's not going to do that anymore. And I was listening to somebody today, unrelated, but they were talking about, and I was like, man, I really need to do this. They were talking about taking some time, you sit down and think about what's really important to you. What it truly is important to you, and making a list. But then you sit down and think about how you spend your time, and then think about your time as if you don't know yourself. What you do with your time, does it look like is important to you?
Sure.
And then trying to make adjustments. I mean, look, I hate to break it to you, but we're all going to have to go to work. Just letting you know.
That's not one of the things you're removing from it.
I know. The first thought is well, it looks like I'm pursuing Taco Bell because I go there every day.
I don't think that's what they mean. But did you watch Shaq with his stuff when he was crying about Kobe?
I did not.
That was really sad. But he was talking kind of along the same lines of he always thinks about calling people and talking with people and keeping up those relationships and kind of the important things, but never does. And at that point, he realizes you just have to do it. So maybe not spending stuff on other time wasters, but doing it for what's important.
So what you're saying is that maybe instead of sitting alone Friday night playing Xbox, I'd go out and see people I love.
Or go say hi and see people you love first.
And then maybe go play Xbox.
And then you can still have time to do both, but don't push off what we've always pushed off for so many, years.
Right. So I thought it was interesting. The other thing that will be interesting to see is that it is one thing in an emotional moment to say you're going to change, and it's another thing to go out there and actually change your behavior.
Sure.
And so I'm not saying, I'll be watching Fitty real close to see. No,
but he should have done that anyway. So it's good that he's having growth in that area.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's interesting. I'd be curious if anybody has had that moment where you realized I have this thing that needs to change. I'd be kind of curious to hear what that is. So you know where I'm at, 8772 RadioU. Nikki and I are always texting, except when we're driving.
Obadiah and Nikki tried their hardest, and that's what really matters. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
Nikki, you've got a Nintendo Switch, right?
I do.
Just kidding. We all saw you buy it after you lectured yourself about how you weren't going to buy it.
Hey, that was a long time ago, and I don't think you need to bring it up to everybody.
You're so much more grown up now.
I am.
You're
I've learned a lot. I bought it.
You've grown.
I played it, and then I don't play it as much anymore. It's what we all do.
So what about, did you get Bee Simulator yet?
No.
It's time.
How much is it? There's a Switch tax.
There is a Switch tax. I could have gotten it for the Xbox. It was on sale for $20.
It's like free.
And for the Switch, it was $40.
It's a really high tax. But I wouldn't really play it probably on anything else but the Switch.
Right. And they know that.
Well, I mean, Eric's PlayStation is there, so I could use that, but...
You could.
If I wanted to.
There's a PlayStation 4 right there.
I know.
Just waiting for Bee Simulator to load on in.
I might be annoyed if I played that game on his console, but
you've got a big TV there.
We could share.
You should get a new TV for it, too.
Oh, that'd be good.
A bigger one.
All right, well, I'll look into it.
Okay. Nintendo just announced that they have now sold more Nintendo Switches than they ever did of the Super Nintendo. And the Super Nintendo...
Which one was that one?
The SNES. It's the last, classic one they did. When did the SNES release? I'd have to look it up. I don't know.
So it's not the one where, everybody's grandmother bought it? Which one was that one?
That was the Wii.
That was the Wii, okay. That one still probably outsold everything?
You would think so.
That one sold a lot.
Okay, the Super Nintendo released in the United States on November 21st, 1990. So, video games have changed a lot since then, but it's kind of remembered as one of their...
The final classic ones?
They're big deals.
Sure.
And the Switch has now outsold it.
Good. I was glad I could be a part of that.
You were, Nikki.
You really are excited at first, and then you play a lot, and then one day you're just like, I'll just play it tomorrow. And then tomorrow, I'll get it at the weekend.
I'll play
later. It on Friday.
Friday for sure.
Then before you know it, a year's passed by, and you haven't picked it up again. So.
Well, you know how it is. You know why? Because you haven't gotten a game you like.
The last good game was the Untitled Goose Game, which I enjoyed.
You did get that.
That was about it.
See, I've got a friend of mine who is swearing by and maybe at Luigi's Mansion 3.
Oh, is that good?
Yeah, that's supposed to be really fun, but I haven't played that yet. I liked Luigi's Mansion on the 3DS. Mm-hmm. That was fun. So I need to probably give that a shot.
Listen, this just adds more to do, guys. More to do.
And we got work to do.
Can't add any more to do.
Listen. I need you to go get Bee Simulator and report back to me.
I don't want to play it yet. I'm not ready. We were supposed to play it together. I don't want to play it by myself.
Well, we do have a Riot anniversary coming up.
Well, then why don't we play it then? Because I don't want to play it. 3 months
after we said we would, we're playing Bee Simulator.
I'm sorry, but I don't want to be at home playing Bee Simulator on my own.
Why?
I don't think I want to.
You should stream it then. Then you'll have all kinds of people. I'm telling you right now, I stream a game, nobody cares. You stream a game, we're going to have record numbers. Everybody's watching that. Just saying.
Maybe.
We'll see. Maybe. If you're good.
I sound like we're going to turn this trip around. And that's a no. It sounds like I'm saying no. Because I am.
Because you are. Thank you.
I pretty much am.
Thank you for
no.
at least acknowledging it.
Well, you're welcome.
Thanks for listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Oh, no! I missed it! Do it again!
You can hear us live every day on the RadioU network through the RadioU app or at riot.radiou.com.
What about pecs of love? Biceps of love? The traps of love?